Hey VC, what's going on? It's Tone. It's been a while, and I'm really sorry that I haven't made a video in quite a long time. But as life has it, and as work has it, it's been a little bit hectic for me. I'll give you a brief catch-up and a little explanation as to what's been going on. And I really don't have a lot to show. I have a few things to show. And part of the reason being is because I don't have my record collection with me, really. So over the past few months, the work situation's been crazy, and life has been a little crazy. I think the last time I did a video was the end of last summer, and I've been watching videos here and there, and I haven't been able to comment a lot just because my time restraint is it's been overwhelming. And I've gotten a lot of messages on old videos and privately on Facebook and here asking, what's going on? When are you going to do another video? And I found some time to do it. I've been telling people I was going to do one, and so here I am. So recently I moved out of my townhome. I was staying in a 3-story townhome. It was pretty big. And of course, everything I had there, my entire hi-fi system, and my record collection, obviously, my music collection, I should say. I had a dedicated music room. I didn't make my videos. If you look at my older videos, I didn't make my videos in my music room. I made them in my lounging area right out next to my living room. And anyway, my lease was up. I had to move out because I had planned to move anyway. And in order not to have to sign another lease, I had to get out. That left me without a home. So I'm sitting on the couch of one of my best friends who I've been living with the past 60 days on this very beautiful, lovely couch, and searching for a home and dealing with work. And so he's been so gracious to let me stay here. I don't have to spend a dime, but I'm okay. In the interim, I literally moved my entire home, which was about 4 bedrooms worth of stuff, living room, kitchen, all that's dining room, into a massive storage unit that I was not going to keep my records in. So I called my friend Lena, and I said, Lena, I need to borrow one of your guest rooms. Now, I wasn't going to stay with Lena because Lena's going through a divorce, and I didn't want to get in the middle of that situation. So, but I didn't mind my record collection being there because I trust her immensely, and she has a guest room that she can lock. So my entire almost 3,500 LP, about 700 7-inch 45s, about 1,800 CDs, and about 600 audio cassettes are in her guest room locked up, and have been for about 60 days, a little over 60 days. So I don't have access to my collection. I had received things. I had received some VCLT that I had meant to do a video for that was partially Christmas, partially contest, and partially birthday gift from none other than the amazing Memphis Vinyl Jim and the Miss April. And I feel so bad, Jim. I want to make a public apology to you that I haven't been able to do that video yet. But I'm going to. As soon as I get into my new place, that's the first video I'm going to do. You should see some of the stuff that they sent me. It's just fantastic. And I was so excited by the gift, the package, and just overwhelmed. I still have a package I have to send him that was for Christmas that I haven't had the opportunity to do because now it's with my collection. And so all I'm going to show you today is some things I picked up along the way. I haven't really been spending money on compact discs or records or cassettes or anything of that matter because I don't really have a place to keep them, and I don't want to clutter this place with records or put them in storage. I'm going to go ahead and get into some records and just show you what I've picked up. Some of them I might slightly describe, but that's about it. And then we'll see what happens from this video. Hopefully it's not too long before the next one. All right. So I went to a really cool sale that happens further down in Southern California. I'm in the LA area. I went down to San Juan Capistrano. Some of you may have heard that. Bugs Bunny cartoon says, when the swallows come back to Capistrano. And so there's a big Catholic mission in Capistrano. And swallows actually migrate back to that mission every year, like clockwork. And you may have heard of San Juan Capistrano. It's about halfway between LA and San Diego. Went down there with Hackman 377, which is Jason Hacker, and that's my boy. You guys know him as Hackman 377 if you subscribe to his channel. If you don't, I totally suggest subscribing to his channel. Went down there to join him in this sale that this guy has out of his garage every year. He basically runs a record store out of his garage, and he has sales a couple times a year. He announces it, and everyone goes down. So Jason's been telling everybody about this. He's been telling me about this, and I wasn't able to go to the last one, but I was able to get down there. I think he just mentioned this in one of his last videos, if not his last video. And we had a great time. I'll put a quick video excerpt right now of that, and I'll be right back. All right, so that was that. Picked up a lot of great things. Not too much, a lot of dollar finds, which were great, and a few other records. I didn't want to spend a lot of money, again, because I really don't have a place to keep them. And I'm not going to continue to pile stuff over at Lena's house. So I love old jazz, big band jazz, and pop vocal 10-inch LPs. So I got this Duke Ellington and his orchestra. Fantastic record. Of course, I played a lot of the stuff online, and this was a great one. It's a 10-inch. Everything was in immaculate shape. It's on the original Royale, Black Label Royale, and you guys have seen things like this before. This one is Jack Teagarden and his orchestra. Again, none of this is really big band. It says orchestra, but of course, this is getting into out of traditional big band stuff, early 50s, mid 50s, into bop. And so it's really like jazz band or jazz orchestra with, heavy bop on the lead. Great, great jazz trombone with Jack Teagarden. And again, 10-inch LP on the White Royale label. And then this one was fantastic. This is Don Byas, Stan Getz, and Earl Bostic. And it's all tenor sax guys. This is a 10-inch as well. On Royale, White Label Royale. This is some great early bop. And I was really happy to get this one. Again, it's the tenor guys, Don Byas, Stan Getz, and Earl Bostic. Fantastic. Some of these are replacements. Underrated songwriter. Just fantastic, fantastic. Jerry Rafferty, of course, some know him from his stint with Steelers Wheel. But more than that, his solo career. Fantastic songwriter. This City to City is just a great, great album. Those of you who have it and know it will agree. I have a great copy of it already, but this was a fantastic first pressing. Not a hard record to find, but just a great album, and I wanted to just upgrade. So I got that. I'll also have this too. This is Batdorf and Rodney. This is early, sort of country tinged psych folk. Singer-songwriter, acoustic psych folk. There is some harder stuff on here. And a little harder stuff that would liken itself to, oh gosh, I don't even know. But if you ever run across this record for $5 to $10, grab it. I have a copy. The vinyl's incredible, but the cover was kind of beat. So this was an upgrade to my Batdorf and Rodney. And sorry about the glare, but this was a great, great album. And so I picked up this one as a replacement copy. This was the only Yes album. The only Yes album that I did not have, this completed my Yes collection. This just shows. And 1979, 1980-ish. It's kind of later, yes. But again, I didn't have it. Now I do. This completes my total Yes collection. Out of all the studio albums that they have ever recorded, now I have them all. And I picked this up at that sale with Jason. Great Leon Redbone album. I actually got this at a library, at a public library. Sometimes public libraries will put their stuff out for sale. This was 50 cents. I normally don't talk about price, but I just thought it was kind of cool. It's an immaculate shape, Leon Redbone. I didn't have this record, so I picked this up. Great, great album. I've listened to that online. I'm a huge classical fan. I've got a massive classical collection. And this was a great Marian Marias, and it's kind of an eclectic album. I try to Google some of the pieces. It's cello, heavily cello based, and it's on Astray, which I don't have a lot on that label. Astray Records, or Astray. And so this was cool. I picked that up at the library as well. What else? Oh, I got this at the sale with Jason down in San Juan Capistrano. It's Andre Crouch and the Disciples, Soulfully. And I didn't have this Andre Crouch. Anybody who knows Andre Crouch, even if you're not into gospel or early spiritual or Christian music whatsoever, Andre Crouch is a fantastic listen, no matter what your belief system is. This is just great, great record. Didn't have it, picked it up for a great price, and happy to have grabbed that one. Okay, so I didn't have this Moody Blues either. This is On the Threshold of a Dream. Early 70s, I think 71. This is, again, of course, you got your cell phone, you're at a sale, you pick it up, you go onto Discogs. If you're interested, you check the pressing and the matrix numbers and the label and see what it is. This was a first pressing of this record. It was $1. And again, it's not an uncommon record per se, but it's also, I don't run across it a lot. I didn't have it. One of the only Moody Blues that I don't have, and now I do. For $1. And it's in probably, I would call it near mint condition. This one didn't have, it's not an uncommon record, but this is a first pressing and it's a fantastic album. This is Blue Magic, and this is the one with Sideshow on it. Mid-70s, 74, I think. Let me see. 1974. Blue Magic, self-titled, with Sideshow on it, and it's just a fantastic mid-70s pure soul album. You guys know Blue Magic. They're just a fantastic band. And this is in immaculate shape, just great shape. And so I picked that up. Also at the sale down south with Jason. This is just a replacement copy. This is an immaculate first pressing of Summertime Dream, Gordon Lightfoot. And I have it already, but it's because it's white, it's kind of beat. And this cover was immaculate, and it is an original pressing. So that was a replacement of mine. This is also a replacement gatefold on the JT record. I have this as well. Vinyl's in incredible condition. And this is a first pressing. Not an uncommon record to find, but in this condition, I mean, the cover is literally near mint. It's fantastic. So that was another replacement I picked up. I didn't have this record. I'm not a massive Chris Christopherson fan. I'm about to see him, though, locally here in North LA very shortly. But this is a great album, and I have the compact disc and the cassette, but I didn't have the vinyl. This is Jesus Was a Capricorn, and it is a gatefold album. I'm going to say like 1973. Let's see if I can find 72. I was off by 1 year. 1972. And so I picked that up at the sale with Jason. It's in VG Plus EX condition all the way around. The vinyl's near mint. And so, again, it's not a hard to find album, but great album. Picked that up at the sale as well. This was actually VCLT, or a gift from Jason that he had waiting for me at his house. We went to his house after for a little while. I met his wife and his son. Fantastic, beautiful family, beautiful house. And he ordered 2 of these from Brazil. This is Amaro Maita. Amaro Maita. And Amaro Maita is a a Brazilian artist from, this is on Patua Discos. This is a reissue, obviously, because the original of this goes for some massive crazy bucks. Of course, I didn't have my gear because my gear is in storage to play this, but I've listened to it like 3 times online. If you can go on and online, whether Discogs or to the actual label, and get this record, I am recommending that you get this record. This thing is fantastic. People automatically assume samba or bossa nova when you're talking about Brazil, but this is I think an early 70s original pressing, was in the early 70s, and gosh, I mean, I'm hearing elements of jazz rock. I'm hearing there's elements of loungy type of vocals, but not cheesy lounge. I mean, really cool loungy jazz vocals over just fantastic instrumentation. Some of the songs, like I said, some of the songs I'm hearing really complex jazz rock arrangements, sort of like I would liken them to Blood, Sweat, and Tears or really early Chicago, with Brazilian samba vocals over and jazz vocals over that music. And man, Jason, I can't thank you enough for this record. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to listen to it again probably tonight. It'll be my 4th time listening to the entire record. Just fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Again, it's Amado Maita, and it's self-titled. And you can get that on Patua Discos, Patua, Patua Discos, or probably just look it up on Discogs and grab that. What else we got here real quick? Didn't have this. This was in shrink. Of course, I'm not a shrink wrap person, so I always remove the shrink if I'm going to open it, and I replace it into a thick poly sleeve. And so this is Rock Your Baby by George McCrae. I'm a huge collector of 70s albums. I do collect 70s hits on 45. But this record here, I also collect albums. This is on TK. This is an original pressing, George McCrae, Rock Your Baby. You've all heard the single. It was originally done as an instrumental by Casey and the Sunshine Band, and this guy made a soul disco hit out of it. And fantastic. It was brand new, original pressing in the shrink. What else do we got here? Oh, I didn't have this either. I have a lot of Ramsey Lewis, most of the Ramsey Lewis that I do have. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. I'm just trying to get through this and keep it short for you guys. A lot of the Ramsey Lewis I do have is early Ramsey Lewis trio, things on Argo and things like that. This is early 70s Ramsey Lewis, Funky Serenity. And I picked this up at the sale, Jason, as well. This was not $1, but it was pretty reasonably priced. This is a promo copy from the label. Ramsey Lewis, Funky Serenity, all instrumental. It is absolutely early 70s funk, soul jazz at its best. For those of you who have heard this album, who have it, you know how good it is. Ramsey Lewis, Funky Serenity, 1972, maybe? 73? 1973. 1973 on Columbia, I believe. Is it Columbia? It is. Yeah, CBS Columbia. What else we have? I picked this up at the library. This is awesome. This album is a trip. Okay, so Oscar Peterson. I'm a huge Oscar Peterson fan. I have a lot of his stuff, mostly 60s based. This is called Oscar Peterson Royal Wedding, and this was done, I think, in the late 70s, maybe even 80, 1981. And this is on Pablo. Boy, this album is a trip. He fools you. He fools you with interludes of music that sounds very classically based, that sounds almost as if the Queen was coming out of her castle. And then it goes into some crazy stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of feels and tastes in music styles on this record. Some of it gets loungy, but again, not not cheesy at all. And because of the timeline that it came out, you have that really early feel of contemporary jazz. I hate the word smooth jazz, but it's where he was transitioning into a really contemporary jazz state. And he does it so well. I mean, it may sound like a cheesy record, but I'm telling you, by far, it's not. This is a fun listen, and I would listen to this record over and over. Again, I was only able to listen to it online, but I listened to it about 3 times. It's just a fantastic record. Oscar Peterson, A Royal Wedding. If you see this for a few bucks, don't hesitate to pick this up. If you like the George Benson album, Breezin', and you think that that was a very, which I mean, I don't know anybody who wouldn't like that record. That was on the cusp of jazz, mainstream jazz taking a turn into what we call contemporary jazz. And it kind of falls in that vein. It's really good. I would go ahead and pick it up if I were you, if you see it. I didn't pay that much for it because, again, I did grab it at a library. Picked this up at the sale with Jason. This is 2525 Zager and Evans. You guys, if you're familiar with the single from the late 60s, 69 or 70, 2525, kind of a spacey folk psych album or record, single. This is the album that it came off of. I think it's 1969 that this album came out. 2525, in the year 2525, blah, blah, blah. If not, you can look that up on YouTube and you can hear the song. It was a really popular AM radio song throughout the early 70s. And I think it came out in 69 or 70. This album, the entire album, talk about a great, really, I don't want to use the word weird in a bad way, but it's really kind of eerie psych folk. That's how I would describe it. Eerie psych folk. And the entire record is incredible. I have never heard the entire album until now. I listened to the entire thing online, and I would never trade this record. This is a great listen. I think it's probably an underrated record, and they were great songwriters, great musicians. And if you see this record, 2525 Zager and Evans, I would pick it up. Fantastic record. What else do I have? What else do I have? Oh, I'm going to tell you this. This album I picked up locally because I just couldn't pass it up. Actually, my buddy Matt Chance, DJ Matt Chance, you've heard me mention him in my videos before. I have never, ever heard of this band. Talk about a fantastic early 70s psych rock funk. Slightly funky, hard psych rock. And this is a band called Bruth. It looks like broth, but it's not broth. It's actually pronounced Bruth, like brothers, which is kind of a horrible, kind of a dumb name, really. I mean, they would have been better off calling it broth. But it's actually Bruth, like brother. 1971, I think, on Mercury. This is the promo copy. I picked it up for a decent price. Actually, again, well, I didn't. Matt did. He saw it, and I contemplated getting it, and he actually picked it up for me, just to kind of egg me on in getting it. Fantastic addition to my early hard psych rock collection that I have. And somebody just did 100 best hard psych records. Oh, it was Dan, Dots and Loops. Dan, I think I mentioned this. I would have added this. If you're not familiar, I understand. But if you were, and you do have it, I would have added this to your 100 top hard psych rock albums. Incredible. Incredible, really raw, little fuzzy, not too much. But again, I haven't been able to actually listen to the vinyl. The vinyl's in EX to near mint condition. The cover's in definite VG+. And I'm really happy to get this. I haven't been able to find the entire album online, but the pieces that I have found, just fantastic. go ahead and search that on YouTube. Broth, B-R-O-T-H, like broth, but it's Broth. And highly recommended. Really, really happy that I picked up this record. I have one more LP to show, and that is something I picked up. I'm not even going to tell the price that I paid for this because I couldn't believe. I mean, it's not a hard record to find. It's not a super expensive record. But what I paid for it juxtaposed to what it is, I was so happy. Picked it up down at San Juan Capistrano with Jason at that sale. This is the Ahmad Jamal Trio. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Ahmad Jamal in their past few videos. And I have a lot of Ahmad Jamal. A lot of his later stuff, his solo stuff, and his trio stuff. This is his debut record, or I should say their debut record, the Ahmad Jamal Trio. It is on, and I normally don't like to take the records out, but I will take this out. It's on the original Epic Sunburst label. You can see that. The vinyl is absolutely ridiculously immaculate. And in doing research, what this is this is an original issue, second pressing. So the very first original issue, first pressing, was a pinkish cover that had a drawing on it. And they shortly after that released it the same year in Canada with this cover. And when they released it in Canada with this cover, they saw that the sales with this cover exceeded the sales with the pink cover. So they quickly reissued this second pressing the same year with this cover. So if you have the pink cover version, you have the first pressing, original issue. And if you have this cover, that's an American pressing. This is again, it's still first issue, but second pressing. Those of you who don't understand the difference between an issue and a pressing, you can research that or message me and I'll tell you about it. Anyway, that's about it. All of them were mono up until later on. In fact, the ones that are stereo that were released as reissues, possibly early 60s, I couldn't find a date for on Discogs or anywhere. This was released in 1956, and everything that was released up until they released the stereo was all mono. And again, they didn't release the stereo until later on as a reissue. And we don't have a date for that. So very happy to find this Ahmad Jamal Trio, self-titled, 1956, debut in mono, original issue, second pressing. And I was really happy to grab that. Other than that, I like to collect quirky things, and I do have quite a big collection of flexi singles. Some of you collect flexis just for the novelty. I collect them for the novelty. Sometimes I'll play them. Some people think, oh, if I play these things, they're going to hurt my stylus or they're going to hurt my cantilever in some way. Yeah, I run, and I'm not saying this to throw any numbers out there for any other reason, just to prove to you that I run a cartridge on my turntable that has a value of about $1,700. It's about a $1,700 cartridge. I play flexis on it all day long. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt your needle. Now, if there's kinks in the flexi, you're going to get jumps and bumps, and it may. But other than that, flexis are totally fine to play, even if you've got a $6,000 turntable with a $1,700 needle. These were cool. So my boy Matt Chance saved these for me. He gave these to me. This is Dad Brains. It's a novelty play on Bad Brains, obviously. There's no capital building on that one, just a baby bottle. And it is a single called I'm Old. And these guys, this is a punk band that came out of the nardcore scene here in North LA with bands like Aggression or Stalag 13 or Dr. No. These guys are still around. They're called Dad Brains, and it's comprised of a bunch of dads that play punk rock. Vinyl Richie, that may be of interest to you. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but it's pretty cool. I listened to it online. Another flexi I got was the Old Firm Casuals. Old Firm Casuals is a project band. I forget who the lead singer is. Is it Lars Fredriksson from... somebody help me out in the comments below. Lars Fredriksson is the lead singer of what punk band? Very well-known band. Anyway, he's also the lead singer of this band. And again, Old Firm Casuals, pretty cool. Last but not least, I love Christmas records. This is Eric Clapton, called Happy Christmas by Eric Clapton. Really cool flexi. So, that's about it. Thank you guys for spending time with me. I'm sorry it's been so long between videos. Jim, April, I'm going to be doing that VCLT video. I know it's going to be super late. I'm really sorry. But as soon as I get settled, that's the first video I'm going to do. Can't wait to show you guys what they send me. And if I pick up some more stuff along the way before I get settled into my new home, of course, I will make a video. I'll be commenting on the rest of your videos to catch up. And I hope you guys enjoyed spending time with me. Sorry, no backdrop, but here I am. Thanks, VC. God bless all of you guys. I'm really glad to be back with the video, and I'll be back soon. Thanks. Peace.